Hey, this is super funny. Patrick Bet David, the host of the PBD podcast, where I have appeared before, he had this little clip where he sort of learns that a lot of Trump's base doesn't like people like him and like me because we came here from another country. He explains, oh, I was getting feedback that was like, go back to Iran, even though I'm a Trump guy. I'm checking all the right boxes, but they still don't like me. Yes, this is a significant portion of the MAGA base. Listen, this is so funny. It's like he's learning in real time the people that he's chosen to associate himself with.
Look at the tweets. I said, our founding fathers. A guy responds back and says, those are not your founding fathers. Guy posts a picture of the Shah of Iran, says, that's your founding father.
Oh, so funny.
But that tells you what, a part of this, there's nationalists
Yes.
and there's white nationalists. White nationalists, Vinny, don't want people like us here.
I know.
They just don't. White nationalists are a very different model. You view me as go back to Iran.
Yes.
Deport Elon back to, what do you call it, South Africa. Deport Vivek back to India,
His
right?
parents.
And
He was born here.
you make those types of comments.
Yeah, even though Vivek was born here. Very good point.
All right. I don't think that's majority of America. I think that's less than 5%.
That is the far
of
right.
America. Yeah, that's the far right.
Ultra-nationalists.
And that's the far right. And the far left wants open borders.
See, this is a classic thing. When they have no way to deny that there is this horrible, xenophobic, unsavory contingent in their movement, rather than just dealing with that, he goes, and on the far left, they want open borders. What does that have to do with anything? Whether it's true doesn't even matter. That's not the issue. That's not really what we're talking about here.
And let everybody come in here. Let's legalize everyone. The far right wants, if you're not a white nationalist, get the hell out of here. The problem here is you as a consumer not knowing the position of the individual before they say it, and you think everyone is in that position. They're not. Not everyone's in that position.
Yeah. They also want me to go back to Argentina, right? I mean, it's like, this is not a new thing. It's shocking to me that he's acting as though it's news to him that this exists on his side, and it's not 5%. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's everybody. I mean, it's not PBD, right? We can say a lot of things that we would disagree about, and when I was on his show, we disagreed about tax policy. We disagreed about so many different things. But one of the things that is absolutely the case is that PBD is not in this I should go back to Argentina thing, because it'd be kind of hypocritical if it were the case, then maybe he should go back to Iran, right? He's not part of that. But pretending that that's only 5%. I mean, listen, if it's 5% of America, it's 17 million people. But that's if you consider the entire population, including kids, including people who don't even know to have positions on this. If you just say, well, what percentage of Trump voters is the kind of ultra-nationalist go back to Iran group? My guess, I don't want to overstate it, but it's probably a third of the Trump electorate that's overtly part of that. And maybe there's another third that kind of dabbles in it. They probably wouldn't say it, but to a degree they think it. That's what it is. We shouldn't overstate it and we shouldn't understate it. But 5% of America, yeah, I don't think so. So just kind of funny to see him realize, man, I'm part of a movement that would kick me out of the movement. Now, zooming out for a second, the purity test stuff, I believe it's a bigger problem on the left. I've said before, one of the reasons the right does win, and there's many reasons, right? I mean, at the congressional level, you've got gerrymandering, and there's no one explanation. But one of the things that hurts the left are the purity tests. The left seems to be sort of like motivated to some degree by who can we exclude from the movement because they don't check the right boxes. Of course, there's intolerance on the right, but it's more about, listen, they'll accept Jewish people. They'll accept gay people. They'll sometimes accept trans people. They'll accept some Muslim people. They'll be skeptical. They won't love it, but they'll accept it as long as you mostly accept their views because they know that it just helps them win. The left is still hesitant on that, and the purity tests do plague the left. We'll talk about that with Cenk Uygur on Wednesday as well, given the sort of political journey he's currently on. On the bonus show today, one of her final official acts for Vice President Kamala Harris will be certifying her own loss. We will discuss. There are higher Social Security payments coming for millions of people thanks to a bill that Joe Biden signed, and a Washington Post cartoonist has resigned because the paper wouldn't publish a cartoon critical of its owner, Jeff Bezos. What's going on over there? All of these stories and more on today's bonus show. You can sign up at joinpacman.com, still the primary funding source for the show, and you can get instant access to the bonus show by signing up at joinpacman.com. If you missed the New Year's Day special and you'd still like to take advantage of it, email info@davidpacman.com and say, I'd love that code. And remember, sign up for the YouTube channel. It's free at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. I'll see you on the bonus show. I'll be back here tomorrow. As Trump's inauguration approaches, we're already seeing what the next 4 years are going to look like. A Trump campaign official said Pennsylvania election workers will face jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates, part of the right's attempt to sow election distrust and weaponize the courts. This story is almost exclusively being covered by right-leaning news outlets spinning the narrative to villainize the election workers, so the public probably has a skewed perspective on what's really happening. That is, unless you use Ground News, which lets you see every side to every story like this one. Ground News is an independent platform that exposes the biases of media outlets by showing you who owns them, what angle they're taking on each story, and what hidden agendas might be lurking in the background. Ground News's daily briefings are a great way to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. It gives a quick breakdown of the day's most critical stories from every angle. Go to ground.news/Pakman for 50% off their unlimited access Vantage plan. It's their biggest sale of the year, and the link is in the description.